Okay, I'm your soul brother Talib, and of course, you know me as best as being on the Reality Temple on Earth's platform, as well as AKA Operation Exodus Mississippi platform. First of all, I just want to give a quick rant out on this video dealing with the situation with the mistreatment of black Africans in China. And usually I don't occasionally speak only occasionally speak about subjects like this that don't pertain specifically to dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America. But because of this reason why I am expounding in my reaction on this subject far as the mistreatment of Africans in China and the fact that now African leaders on the continent in Africa are responding, you know, unfavorably toward the situation of mistreatment of Africans that's in China right now, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic. I must say that, hey, my only reason far as even making this quick video concerning this, and it's going to really be quite a short video because I'm doing some things right now around here as far as pertaining to my household situation. And but however, I must say that hey, look here, I just heard the country of Kenya has just came out and publicly expressed their discontentment with China on this situation. And other African countries may more likely follow suit on this situation. And I must say, in this case, that I do give credit to them African leaders who are stepping up to the plate. And the ones that are not, like someone just said as well, that I heard speak about this, that them other ones who's continuously selling their own people out over there on the continent must go, at the behest of their people rising up to make them go. And I must also say that, personally, I have nothing against Africans. I've met some quite interesting, good people who are from that continent over the course of time in my own life. And so I don't box them all in. Although there are some, who take issue with, dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America for whatever reasons, even in terms of ethnic, differences and all this other kind of stuff. And the way that they view us when they come here to America and how they treat us when they are over here in America as well. Okay. And, but however, should nobody be oppressed, especially those who are so-called people of color anywhere on the face of this planet. They should not be treated in the manner that they are being treated. And like we see what's going on with Africans in China who have been discriminated against which comes along with them being evicted from their apartments, their hotel rooms, all over the false, obsesses, or under the obsesses falsely because of the COVID-19 pandemic, which is a false flag reason why they're being discriminated against, which of course in terms is racism, which is really why they're being discriminated against over there in China. And like I said, leaders in Black Africa is finally stepping up to the plate, and saying the hell with that, what China is doing and what the government of China obviously is allowing to happen to their citizens that are over there in China. So, like I said, I salute those black leaders in Africa on the continent that is willing to stand up against this to the point of protecting those of their citizens that are over there in China, whether they're from Kenya, whether they're from Uganda, Nigeria, Ghana, and so forth and on, And, it definitely needs to be a accountable situation taking place as far as why them Africans are being mistreated the way that they are over there in China. And because they're black, of course, I know that there are, some black Americans that are living in China. But the only reason they're not being discriminated against in a fashion or in a manner that those from Africa are, because they have the United States government behind them. And of course, because the United States still being considered a superpower over the rest of the world, is going to make it difficult for Chinese citizens to just outright discriminate against those black American expatriates that are in China right now. But however, I'm sure they want to. I mean, that's obvious. We could see with the way that they're treating, those that are from the African continent, So, like I said before, oppression, wherever is oppression at, in the terms of some similar that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said decades ago during his own time, that oppression, anywhere, is the face of oppression basically everywhere that's taking place against humanity, and this is something that simply cannot be ignored. Although it is not the concern of black Americans to get involved politically nor socially, because Africans on the continent and Africa have not invited themselves to get involved in our struggle, mainly of over 400 years in this country here in America. But I must say that, the Africans from this experience may hopefully start to realize what it is to be black abroad, where they're not the majority. Maybe they may wake up to understand what it is to be a minority and to understand the inflictions of what comes along with being a minority, like we have had to contend with as black people here in America for hundreds of years. Okay. So, this is the point of why I made this video in the first place, to mainly point that out. Maybe they now can understand what so-called Negro Americans, African Americans, Black Americans, or whatever we choose to deem ourselves as people of soul here in the United States of America, which I preferably call us, because of that being a self-appointed identity that we gave ourselves during the Civil Rights Movement era, or the Black Power era movement of that time, when we gave ourselves that title, which no one gave us but us. So I use that to identify us proudly. And I say that, the fact of the matter is that we need to understand and realize that, now with this going on in China with Africans, that hopefully they will wake up and understand what we as a people who are dark-skinned here in America, who are dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America, have went through, and that they can understand under the auspices of being in another foreign land what it is to be discriminated against, and what comes along with that mistreatment of discrimination, and that's all I could basically say about that, and hopefully this wakes the whole entire continent of Black Africa up, and hopefully enough to make them unite against their oppressors coming from China or anywhere else in Asia, especially those of their oppressors that's coming from Europe, as well as their oppressors that's coming from America. And like I said, maybe this will give them enough, encouragement and motivation to unite all together at once, since they are the majority over there on the continent. And, pull it together. That's the only thing I can say about that, and, make them wake up and realize, like I say, more importantly, as well, is what we as black people have been going through all these years in America as being a minority. So, with that said, like I said, I just wanted to make a quick rant in this video concerning that matter. And hey, as someone would say, no more talk. And with that said, I'm Audi. Peace.